Everybody online tells you the same story. EVs are cheaper, no oil changes, charge at home and save a fortune. That's the pitch. Here's what they don't tell you. The break-even isn't about the car, it's about your driveway. If you can't charge at home, the math flips. Stop here. The one question that decides whether an EV saves you money or quietly drains your wallet. Where do you get your kilowatt hours? Because public charging is the new gas station tax. AAA's national average for public commercial charging is about $389 per kilowatt hour. 39 cents per kilowatt hour. That's the I don't have a charger at home penalty. Now compare that to home charging. EIA's residential average is about 17.78 cents per kilowatt hour, November 2025. Less than half. Same car, two totally different owners. Let's do cost per mile. No hype, just numbers. Rule of thumb. Most EVs land around 3 to 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Use 3.5 as the middle. Home charging. $0.1778 per kilowatt hour for 3.5 equals about $0.051 per mile. Public charging. $0.389 per kilowatt hour / 3.5 equals about $0.111 per mile. Now gas. In January 2026, AAA had regular gas around $2.84 to $2.87 per gallon nationally. Use a normal 30 miles per gallon car. $2.85 divided 30 equals about $0.95 per mile. See what happened? Home charged EV, cheaper miles. Public charged EV, gas car territory. Sometimes worse. And that's before we talk about the real monster cost, depreciation. EVs can depreciate harder than gas cars. An IC Cars analysis cited by Autoblog put 5-year depreciation for EVs at about 58.8% versus 45.6% for all vehicles. So when someone tells you EVs save money, ask them, operating cost or total cost? Because depreciation is where EVs can either hurt you or help you. If you buy new and trade in early, that resale hit can wipe out years of cheap charging. If you buy used, the same depreciation can be your best friend. Let someone else take the first-year drop. Used EV checklist, 60 seconds. 1. Check remaining battery warranty. 2. Ask for a battery health report if it's available. 3. Look at the charge port and fast charge history. 4. Test HVAC hard, heat and AC, because range depends on it. Then price it like a tool, not a tech trophy. Operating cost is electricity versus gas. Total cost is electricity plus tires plus insurance plus that first brutal trade-in quote. Now let's kill the biggest fear people have. What about the battery? Battery failures happen, but the panic is usually louder than the data. The U.S. Department of Energy summarized a recurrent study of about 15,000 plug-in vehicles, model years 2011 to 2023. Battery replacements due to failure were rare, about 1.5% outside of recalls, and well under 1% for model years 2016 to 2023. Translation: most owners will never replace a pack because it failed, and most new EVs are sold with long battery warranties. 8 years and 100,000 miles is a very common baseline in the market, and some go longer depending on brand and region. But if you buy an older used EV or you keep cars forever, you still need to understand the out-of-warranty risk. Recurrent puts typical out-of-warranty pack replacement costs in a wide range, roughly $5,000 to $16,000, depending on the pack and manufacturer. That's the EV version of engine replacement money. So here's the honest trade. EVs usually skip the steady drip of gas car maintenance. Gas cars rarely scare you with one big battery-sized number. Now let's talk about the 3 driver profiles. This is where the answer becomes obvious. Profile 1. Home charger, predictable commute, 10,000 to 15,000 miles a year. If you plug in at home most nights, you're buying cheap miles. Your cost per mile can be close to half of a typical gas car. This is the EV sweet spot. Profile 2. Apartment living, street parking, you live on public chargers. You're paying premium electricity. Your per-mile cost can match or beat a gas car in the wrong direction. In this scenario, a hybrid often makes more financial sense than a full EV. Profile 3. Road trip heavy, you need fast charging constantly. The more you rely on paid charging, the more the savings shrink. You're trading convenience for cost. So what's the real break-even? If you have home charging, the EV can win on operating cost immediately, and the longer you keep it, the more that advantage stacks. If you don't have home charging, you're gambling that your fuel savings will outrun depreciation and paid charging. Sometimes it will, often it won't. And don't ignore geography. Electricity isn't one price, it's 50. Some states are cheap, some are brutal. Your exact kilowatt-hour rate is the difference between a great EV and a bad EV. Here's my rule, the one that doesn't care what brand you like. If you can't reliably charge where you sleep, don't buy an EV for savings. Buy it because you want the driving experience. Smooth, quiet, instant torque. And if you can charge at home, don't let battery fear push you into a gas car. The failure rates are low, and most packs are covered for years. Comment home if you have overnight charging, or no home if you'd rely on public chargers. I want to see the real split. And before you sign anything, do this one calculation. Your electricity price per kilowatt hour divided by your EV's miles per kilowatt hour. That's your real fuel cost. Because you're not buying a car, you're buying your charging situation. Check the description for a simple cost per mile calculator template. More mechanic truth breakdowns? Hit subscribe.